Hello and welcome to this brand new Warno patch. Everything's a bit last minute for me today. It's my dad's 70th birthday, so I'm not here this weekend, so I have to record this video right before I'm going out. So what I've done for you is I've got 2 deck reviews for the new divisions, and they'll be cut into this video, and I'll talk about the general changes. All balance changes will be in a separate video because there's just so many of them to get through. Right, so I'm basically all over the place, but essentially if you check the description, you'll see access to the gameplay from these deck builds, and members get it early, right? I'm sorry I couldn't make like way more, but it's my dad's 70th birthday and I gotta go see him. So I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you around. But basically, the armory has changed, right? You can now see things up here. Wow, I honestly don't care. And there's a new map called Cliff. So we'll have a look at Cliff. Sadly, I don't think there is a 1v1 cut of Cliff, which is a shame. I mean, they took the time to make Cliff. So I'll show you the map. Timestamps in the description. And I'd like to take the time to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. I'm under a lot of pressure at the moment, and I really, really do appreciate you guys. I really, really do. I can't say it enough. So this is Cliff. There's a cliff. And so there's 2 sets of spawns, right? So there's a spawn here, and blue would be over here and over here. It's supposed to be a 3v3 map, and so one guy on each team would presumably be fighting in the town. It's quite wide for a 3v3 map. I assume people will play it 4v4 anyway, because they always do that. I mean, they play literal death row training as a 4v4. They'd play it as a 10v10 if we let them. So Fedor's a zone of contention. These are quite far back. Boris is a zone of contention. These are quite far back. And it looks like Elena is a zone of contention, although these two are much closer together than any of the other ones. So that looks really interesting. Now we'll have a look at the new divisions. Right, so this is the brand new American 6th Infantry Division brackets light. So we've got the Logi tab, the CUCV supply, that's already available on 9th. Basically, it's got only 300 supply per thing, so it's kind of hard to micro these because there's literally 20 of them in a card. Then you've got the M35 supply, which is much more ideally suited to buying because it's only 30 points and it's got 750 supply, whereas this is 20 and it's got 300. So yeah, this is preferable, but I always bring 3 cards of supply. So then you've got the Huey supply, so 600 per thing, right? So it carries less and it costs more. Obviously, you can refund these, but yeah, generally not particularly useful. We've seen this before on 24th and Berlin Command. This CV we've seen all over the place. It's 40 points for 2 availability. It's not bad if you're going to put it next to your arty and stuff, but usually there are better options. It's available on lots of divisions. And this is your first new unit, the CH-54B Tarhi supply. So it's got this big box strapped to it. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, I guess. 1500 supply for 55 points. It's half decent, I guess. So yeah, I'll be bringing that, and I like having 3 cards of supply, so I'm sort of forced to bring this little car. Although, we'll see, maybe I don't need it. Then we've got the Huey CV, which comes at 3 availability, which is quite rare for a helicopter CV. Usually they come at 2 availability, this one's at 3. 60 points, but yeah, I don't like it at all. The only person I know at high level who brings helicopter CVs is Fortitude Fence. He's better than me at the game, but most people tend not to because you can see him coming, and then you see him land, and then you just arty them, and they can't drive about on the land. They have to take off and land again. So it's a bit of a liability, whereas this Humvee, this is 3 per card, right, for 85 points, and it's got 6 HP, so we're going to be getting that. And we'll see if we need more CVs. So, Inf tab. National Guard M60s, we've seen before. 10 points for 4 men. It's alright, but they are reservist, and that makes the DPS, like, It's basically like a third less than it would be, so a third less than this. So I prefer these. Then we've got our first new infantry unit, and this is a 50 cal on a funny tripod. So it can shoot at helicopters, whereas you'll see that this can't shoot at helicopters, this can't shoot at helicopters, this can't shoot at helicopters. So it might be useful. It's forward deployed, but honestly I don't think it's particularly useful when you can pay the same amount for a grenade launcher, which is just better. It can't shoot at helicopters, but I can't really see you needing to shoot a helicopter with a 50 cal. Maybe you will. Maybe you'll need that forward deployment. We'll come back to it. I'm going to go for the grenade launcher. Then we've got fire team leaders. 35 points, right, for 3 availability, but sadly only 3 men. They do have smoke grenades and an AT though, so it's a pretty decent card. Let's go through all of the CVs here, because it's just faster that way. If you pay twice as much, you get 11 men, but 1 less availability, but no smoke grenade. Then if you pay 40 points, you get 6 men with 3 availability, no smoke grenade, but 6 strength as opposed to 3 strength. So this is my favourite thus far. Then you've got light rifles leader. It appears that I forgot to thank the generous channel joiners generously joining the channel. They get the names on the screen, they get the videos early. I don't break the NDA, but basically when the NDA drops, I've got a bunch of videos ready and they'll get them all as soon as it drops. So if you check the timestamp... I must shill. Nothing will stop me. If you check the description, you'll see those videos, and everybody else will just get them, you know, over the coming days. It's just boys got to make a living, right? So yeah, I do appreciate it. They do also get exclusive videos and so on. Did I mention that I'm an unemployed PhD student? I mean, obviously it's entirely my fault, but I am. So yeah. Whoa, channel joiners, yeah. Whoa. 6 men, 45 points, smoke grenades, but 2 availability. And then you've got airborne leaders who are 12 men, and they've got smoke, and they've got AT4s. They're in 82nd Airborne, but they're 115 points. So, and there are only 2 availabilities. So I prefer this one simply because I value the availability over everything else, and I'm willing to pay 5 points to get twice the strength, although you lose the smoke grenades, which can be useful. And you can just get it in a truck, so we're going to be bringing that. So, Fire Team Law, 30 points for 9 men, 6 strength. The advantage of this squad is that they come with the grenade launcher CUCV, with a big tire on the front. So it's got a 40mm grenade launcher on it. When I spoke about this division in the deck review, I spoke about how it seemed from the dev blog review. I spoke about how it seemed like they just don't have that much fire support. Well, Eugen have been cooking, and they've put a 40 cal on your your Cook V. So there you go. So we're going to be bringing that mainly for the grenade launcher, and then you've got Fire Team Dragon, which also get this. And they're 40 points for Dragon 2 and 6 men. Really not a bad squad. And they've also got this grenade launcher, which is pretty crazy. It's only got 4 strength, but for 25 points, it's really not so bad. I mean, it's fast, right? It's got mediocre stealth. So we're going to be bringing that so that we can get 17 grenade launchers. And we probably don't need this anymore, but we'll see. Tank Hunters, so 35 points for 2 AT4s. I mean... don't really see the point of this unit, but maybe you'll find some utility in it. Then National Guard Rifles Law. So these guys are reservists. So they come at 8 at 1 vet. And they come in a reservist transport, which is pretty rough. So we'll see if we need them. Hopefully we can do without them. Then we've got a National Guard M40 recoilless rifle car, which, might be useful. How much does the SPG-9 car cost? Oh yeah, by the way, they changed the armory. We might as well talk about that now. It's all up here. Great. I mean, so this is like, what, 41 divisions? Steel Division 2 has 120 divisions. So if you just imagine this in triplicate, It's not going to fit. So I do wonder what they'll do next. Frankly, I don't really care about this stuff, but people always ask me for my opinion on it. Um, it takes up a lot of space, I guess. I really don't care. I like this search. That's cool, right? It's just kind of weird that every single thing in this game is capitalized, right? All these titles are capitalized. I guess down here it's not, where it says millimeter. I guess that's not capitalized, but almost everything is capitalized. It's all capitalized, and yet this is lowercase. So, whatever. But yeah, you can sort all units by UAV. Are we not missing some UAVs here? No, maybe we're not. I guess it doesn't include the ones from campaign, because I'm pretty sure the Brits get one in the campaign, but not in multiplayer. And then you can sort by transport, you can sort by howitzer. So that's all right, I guess. And you can sort by mortar, and then you can type in 81 millimeters to get it down further, right? So that's cool, and then you can clear the roll thing, I guess. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, this just shows how bad that smoke launcher's icon is, and the electro-optical dazzler isn't right either. It is funny how Resolute is the only one with color. Oh, I suppose this is different. But yeah, this smoke launcher icon really doesn't fit in. But I'm just nitpicking. I really don't care, to tell you the truth. It is pretty funny how so so let's search by close range weapon. Okay, so it's just including all of the, because yeah, this is a close range weapon, but this is a close range weapon, but it doesn't have the tag. So whatever. And then movement, you can do only tracked vehicles, I guess. I guess there's no towed option. They should probably add a towed option, because obviously so like, what if I want to do it by towed? Okay, I guess it's a work in progress. I don't know. So yeah, it's different. I mean, it's okay, I guess. I mean, these look nice. You'll notice that they've changed the divisional symbols. They seem to have a little bit more contrast in them. Like these numbers especially have changed. So that's something, I guess. And right, so SPG 9 in all, and that's 45 points. And for some reason, the forward deployed one is also 45 points. And you compare that to the what's it called? M1 National Guard something. There it is. So it's 40 points because it's National Guard. So yeah, okay, interesting. Although this should probably be 40 points as well if those airborne ones are going to be 45. But whatever. I mean, it's interesting, right? So you can bring it if you want. I'm not going to bring it. Then you've got the National Guard M40. Okay, National Guard ITO, which is probably a bit more useful. And then you've got Airborne TOW2s, which have a rank of veterancy. And although the TOW2A has tandem, tandem basically gives it +1 damage against ERA targets, which means that it can one-shot something like a I've got no idea. Like a, yeah, I don't know. But it helps sometimes, I guess. I'd rather have the 5% accuracy and the airborne capability. Then we've got another new unit, the USAF Security Patrol. So these are 4 men with a Stinger, and military police, and security, and they come in a military police vehicle, which is new. Or you can get the Peacekeeper, which is an M60 truck. And it has the military police tag. And it's armoured. And it's got 8 HP. So for 5 points... I'd rather have the faster one, because it might live a bit longer, right? Why not? I mean, it loses a rank of stealth, but generally this is going to be going with my tanks. My reservist tanks. So we'll get those. You'll notice we're starting to really fill up here, and there's a lot left. That is a problem with this division. USAF Security, US Air Force Security, 13 men with 3 machine guns, including the new M60E3, which is an LSW, as opposed to an MMG so it can shoot within buildings, even though there's no tag there. And it seems to have more accuracy than the M249. Although, I mean, it's a different caliber, right? And this is two weapons. But yeah, it seems to have more accuracy, although it seems to aim slower and shoot slower. So it's probably a little bit worse than this, but whatever. We're bringing it because it's 13 men with military police, which is really cool. Sadly, they don't get a military police transport, so if you want a military police transport, you're forced to bring these guys, and you need a Stinger, so you're kind of forced to bring these guys anyway, because it's such a good-looking squad. Light Rifles Viper, so these guys are new, and they're 9 men. Sadly, all light rifles got nerfed by 1 man. Now they're 9 men. I don't understand why that happened at all. It's probably some TOE thing, but it's a total pain in the neck. I think the price of this came down by 5 points, though. But yeah, between these two, the Light Rifles Viper lose the DMR, and they get the new Viper, which has 14 pen instead of 13, and 5% more accuracy. And it's like, who cares? I mean, yeah, I'd rather pay 5 points more for the DMR. But the real meat of the machine here is the Light Rifles Recoilless Rifle, which for some reason can be upvetted, whereas the other ones can't. You get 2 cards, and it gets the recoilless rifle, and it gets 3 machine guns. The recoilless rifle is really what you're bringing them for. I want 2 cards of that, but now I'm full of this. So let's get rid of this, and let's get rid of this. Light rifles AT4. So they're 5 points less, and they can be upvetted. I don't understand why this can't be upvetted and this can. Whatever. It's not a big deal. 7-man USMC security with smoke grenades, AT4s, and a DMR. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool squad. It's just, I mean, I don't really need it. If I want to do close quarters stuff, I've got this 13-man beast of a squad, right? And so I don't really see the need for these guys, except these guys don't have AT. But I should be bringing Fireteam Law and Light Rifles Recoilless Rifle. Then we've got, you know, Airborne Leader we've seen before, we spoke about before. Airborne from 82nd Airborne. And Airborne's Dragon had their price go down by 5 points. They used to be 80, now they're 75. You're welcome. And yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a squad, right? But I've already got Fireteam Dragon if I want dragons, right? It's just about this forward deployment kind of aspect, I guess. But check this out. Navy SEALs, 9 men, AT4, Special Forces, Satchels, 4 machine guns, and this isn't classed as a medium machine gun, this is classed as an LSW, so it shoots on the move. And SMGs in the form of the Colt Commando, which I know it's a carbine, or as Americans call it, a carbonator. You thought I was going to say carbine, didn't you? No, not on this channel. Not on this channel. And they look really cool. They're forward deployed. They've got AT4s. They've got satchels in 9 men. Special forces, 90 points. What's not to like? Really strong squad. I'd actually like to bring 6 of those. So, there you go. There are other options, right? But I just don't really see the point of them too much. If I need my AT4s, I've got this. This is my sort of town grindy thing. This is also a really cool squad to bring with everybody else to buff them up. This is mainly for the military police vehicle, but also it's like integrated AA. TOW2s if I need them. CV if I need it. And then 17 grenade launcher vehicles for my fire support. So I'm pretty hyped. I'm just putting them all in the order I'd like to see them in. Yeah, so I generally do it in like price order, but I think it's best to keep these two together so that I remember. No, it's not. I like price order, and then I always put my ATGMs at the end. So that's pretty cool. No I was going to say no satchels. These guys have satchels, so there you go. No flamethrowers. No. There is flash and so on, but I don't really see the need to bring it, and I really don't see the point of this. I mean, it's cost effective. I've got the bug where it just constantly comes up with available units on my screen, so I haven't fixed that one. Yeah, I don't really see the point of this. I'm sure, like, because, yeah, you can sneak guys in the back line and mess them up. Well, why not do that with just a regular squad? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, Arty tab. So we get 155mm. Let's go one by one. So this is a new M29 81mm mortar. Alright. This is an M107, which we've seen a lot of times before. It is better than the M109, but it is more expensive and less available. It's got more range and so on. Then we've got some M105s, a new 105. I mean, this is already in a French division, but now it's in an American division. They're not very good, because for 10 points more, you can get an M119, which has more range. And that means that it'll have a tighter dispersion circle. But even then, 105 artillery is basically garbage in this game. So what you really want is the 155s. Sadly, you only get two of them. But it's got 24 kilometers range. It's got a much bigger splash. It's better. So we're going to be bringing that. And then we might need some smoking. At which point, between these two, I mean, 10 points more for more range doesn't really matter too much. But I'd be bringing this or this for the smoking. And I think I'd rather get the 107s because they have more range. And although they aim slower, the... Tell you what, let's try the 81mm. I bet I'll miss that range, though. Tank tab, tank tab. So, this is in 24th US. It's pretty decent, right? Ito at 7 availability for 50 points. It does have the reservist trait, which means that these stats are worse. The aim time's worse, the reload time's worse, the accuracy's worse. And it doesn't tell you on the stat card. So they've reworked the armory, but they haven't bothered fixing the stat card, which is the thing that's actually broken. So it's more window dressing, I guess. They don't pay me for this, as you might expect. Then we've got this for 55 points. It's an Ito. So it's for 5 points more. You get the privilege of having worse stealth, but you carry more missiles and you have 2 armor, but you've got no smoke launchers. So I don't see the point of this, especially given there's so many cards of these. And then we've got the Humvee Tow, which is sort of all over the place. You see it everywhere. Even the Belgians have one of these. And this is really good. For 80 points, you get a Tow 2. It's got good stealth. 80 is a bit expensive, to tell you the truth, but eh. So we're going to be getting some of those and some of these, and we'll see if we have to get rid of stuff. I mean, honestly, 14 of these is crazy, because for 50 points you get an Ito, which is like a better Conkers. Obviously, it is reservist, so you're taking additional malices there, which aren't reflected on the stat card, but I do like it. Recon, so we've got the new Alaskan Sniper. That's like American Sniper, except he doesn't just lie. So, these guys only have one sniper. But they are airborne forward deployed, but they're reservist, so they're a lot worse than this might suggest. But for 30 points for a sniper is not too bad. But this tab is stacked, as there's some spoilers down here, which we'll get to. Then Alaskan Scouts, 4 men. Oh yeah, so we didn't talk about the transport, so this is just a regular 50-cal transport, and you can get them in a Huey, so that's airborne forward deployed Huey. Alaskan Scouts, so 4 men without an AT for 20 points. And they come in the new National Guard M113A1 ACAV, which has had the recoilless rifle taken off it and replaced by an additional M60. So they took a good vehicle and made it bad. Don't really see the point of this. 30 points, I mean, it's anti-infantry's sort of somewhat decent, I guess. But, I mean, I won't bother with that. Alaskan Cav Scouts, this is more like it. So, 6 men. And they get a recoilless rifle and 2 machine guns. Sorry, 8 men. Can't read. Yeah. So this, obviously I want that. And they're coming at 2 vet by default, right? And yeah, I mean, I'm going to get them in the Hueys so that I can get them to the front line really fast, because I want to buy all of these. Regular scouts in the grenade launcher transport, so there you go. If you want even more grenade launchers, you can bring these. But I think we've got enough grenade launchers here in the form of our 17 grenade launchers here. So we're going to be giving those a miss. Pathfinders, airborne forward deployment. And they come in the 50 cal Jeep. And there's only 4 of them, but they've got smoke, and they've got AT, and I think... Well, I mean, I guess you've got the Navy SEALs, but this is useful in that, you know, they've got smoke, they've got AT, they can back up the Navy SEALs with some recon, much needed recon at the start, so we're going to be bringing those. Then you've got your standard recon helo. Yeah. Then you've got this, which is proper funny. So it's a National Guard M48A5 ACAV. So it's like the one from TKS, except better. So it's got loads of machine guns. It's got a coaxial machine gun, which I guess is this, or maybe this. I assume it is. Yeah. Then it's got two more machine guns, but none of them are 50 caliber. They're all 7.62. And it's got this gun with like additional pen over a regular M48. So if we compare it to using the new and improved Armoury, if we compare it to this, you'll see that it deals 2 more penetration. For 10 points more, this came down by 10 points, it used to be 80. For 10 points more, you get 2 more machine guns, more side armor, more rear armor, no smoke launchers, which is really rough, 5 kilometers an hour faster, 2 more pen on the gun. So it's definitely worth it, but no smoke launchers is really rough. And these are your only tanks that you get. You get, so you should really be bringing it at 1 vet, because otherwise it's useless. But then you've only got 8 tanks. And they're not very good. Then you get LRS, so these are, your standard ground surveillance radar guys. You can get them in the grenade launcher transport, which is cool. And then, so yeah, obviously I want these. And then you get a Recon A10. But it's got a 12-second travel time, so it's not, it's like a regular A10. It's not going to start further forwards. But it's a Recon A10, and it's got smoke rockets, regular rockets, and the Avenger cannon. So that's like a must-bring. And yeah, we're starting to run out of AP here. But yeah, you've got a stacked Recon tab. We might have to get rid of the LRS, we'll see. AA, so you get Eyehawks. You get 2 cards of Eyehawks, so that's good already. It's worth noting that all-toed AA had its HP reduced by 4. So because people were dropping these on enemies and shooting them, the Eyehawk lost an HP. So that's big rip. I would have liked to have seen these go to 3 and this stay at 5, but apparently that's not how it goes. Too much work. So they both go to 4, which, okay, whatever. So these are still going to be really good at shooting people. They've just got 1 less HP than they had last patch. So that doesn't really matter, does it? So you get Airborne Stinger, very, very important for the start of the game when you're running in with your Navy SEALs. Although, having said that, I think you should probably have air superiority. What you're essentially sacrificing here is 5 points and 2 availability for 5% accuracy. So, might as well bring that. And then we'll bring some VADs. You can get them in this. So that's that thing from before, but without the box. So it looks pretty cool. Don't know if these are fuel tanks or what. It's a pretty crazy looking helicopter. I would prefer it just in a car. And we'll see. 7's probably enough to tell you the truth, because we've got enough grenade launch Humvees and stuff. Helicopter tab. So this is the new and unimproved Cobra. So it costs less. And you lose the Gatling gun. But instead you get a grenade launcher and a minigun on this turret down here. Sadly, there's no tow variant, which is kind of weird. So they've got a different turret with rockets, but not different turret with ITOs, which is a shame, I think. I think that's a missed opportunity there. Maybe they're saving it for future DLC, who knows. But I think that's a big missed opportunity there. And, you're saving 15 points. And frankly, I don't use the gun anyway. I just use the rockets. So yeah, the issue is, of course, that this has more range, and it is better, and it can shoot helicopters and stuff like this. These have less range. Although 1400, yeah, it is less. But yeah, I like the rockets. I get them for the rockets. I very rarely use the guns. Anyway, we'll see if we need more helicopters. Air tab. So this is where the magic happens. The new Corsair A7D has 10 HP. It also seems to have 114 rockets. I'm not sure if it shoots all of these at once or what. I mean, it's got 6 things here, but I don't know if it just shoots them all. Like, because obviously this is one weapon. So we'll see. We have to bring it to see. Then the Corsair HE, which has a very large payload. The Corsair Cluster, which has a very large payload. Blimey. Look how much ordnance that guy's carrying. The Corsair AT, which has Mavericks, 4 of them. And then the Intruder Napalm. I mean, Napalm's useless in this game, but there you go. The new Intruder. Looks pretty cool. The Intruder Sneed with Shrikes. That's very sad. And these are probably jamming pods or fuel pods or something. So it's only got 2 Shrikes on it, so it's not very good. And then the Prowler, which has harms. And it's an electronic warfare aircraft. So it will reduce enemy air accuracy. And it's got 60 ECM. But it costs 300 points. But, I mean, it's better, so we're going to bring it. Then the regular A10. And the Eagle. So this div seems to all... And this came down in price. It used to be like 285 or something. Now it's 270. Something like that. It's still... You know, the Sparrow is just worse than all the packed missiles, which is really weird. But it's a very good plane, and now it's cheaper. So we're going to be bringing 4 Eagles, because this is clearly some sort of forward deployed into air spam div. Forward deployed into air spam with trash spam and ATGM's div. So it's sort of like American TKS, except better. At least because it's got seed, and the planes are like better, basically. So we want to do a funny Recon A10 opener, and then we want to hit things. So we'll need, you know, HE bombers and so on. I mean, between these, obviously the Maverick one is pretty cool. Pretty cool, Hippie. Pretty cool. But for some reason it's got worse Mavericks. But whatever. I mean, it's proper fast as well. For some reason it's got 11 travel time. Who knows? And this is 10, even though this is... it's 25 kilometers an hour more. That makes it better, right? So we get the... in the dev diary readout, I assumed this would have, like, bombs on it as well, but it looks like they didn't go for that. So it's just 2 seed aircraft. One's got bad missiles, one's got good missiles. And, yeah, so we get 2 extra cards here. It's a shame this isn't 3 per card. But we'll get the... I sort of want the A10, really. Because I'm assuming I'll have clear skies. And then we'll get the cluster. Although the HE reloads a lot faster. And frankly, this would probably one-shot a heavy tank anyway, because it's like 4,000 kilos of ordnance. So we'll get those, and then we'll get the... I mean, we've already got some A10s, but these have Mavericks. Although this has got Mavericks as well, it's not as good at killing them. Or we could get the regular cluster. We'll try more with the dive bombers, backed up by the... well, I don't know. We'll try this. So that's 6th US. That's the deck build for 6th US. Like the video, please. So this is the deck build for 157th Soviet. It's pretty different to the 6th US. And yeah, let's get through it. So for starters, the Ural Snab. I mean, we've seen this so many times before. So I mean, it's decent. Yeah, just bring it. And then the Kraz. So between these two, basically the Gruzovi costs more and is more visible. In a team game, you would bring this to ferry supplies to and from your Urals, but in 1v1, it's better to just get the wheeled stuff. And then for CVs, we got the Belazor, which we've seen before. It's just a car CV, 80 points, 4 HP. Or you get this new one, which is a BTR-40B, and it is 10 points more, but it has more HP, and it's armoured. And you get the Stadion, which looks really dumb. And yeah, so it's slower, it costs the same, but it's got more HP. So between them, I'd prefer the speed, and we'll see if I need more than... Because I like to bring 3 cards of CVs, although you'll remember from the 6th American one, I didn't. And we brought 6 CVs, which is it's a bit on the low side. But yeah, we'll see if we need the Stadion. Inf tab, so Reservist Maxim. So this is pretty goofy looking. 10 points for 4 guys. it is worse than a PKM team in that not only is it reservist, but it's also got less accuracy and a longer reload time. So it's basically garbage because it's also got the reservist malus, which isn't reflected on the start card, which makes it a lot worse. So I wouldn't be bringing reservist Maxim unless they up it to like 15 per card or something. I don't think it's worth it. Then you can get the Dushk, or you can get the Dushk AA. So these are both new. PKM teams are better than HMG teams now. MMG teams are better than HMG teams ever since they upped this to 4 HP. Like, this is half the price. You get 4 more of them, and the DPS is about a third less, something like that. Obviously, the range isn't as good, so it's better to get this. But we'll see if we need it anyway, because there's a lot of stuff coming up. Then we've got Reservist Okranas, so this is 5 men with security and Reservist, and a DPM machine gun from World War II. I don't know if this has just got identical stats to regular machine guns. So if you compare it to the RPK there, yeah, it's just a stat clone of the RPK, which is a shame. I feel like it should have worse stats, given that it is a very old gun. But it's just got identical stats to the RPK there. Either way, 5 men for 15 points. There are better options in this div. Then we've got regular Okrana. Okrana VMF in the new naval uniform. This is 14 men with Resolute and security, so they've got good optics when they're stood still. And they can come at 1 vet, and there's 14 men, right? And so because they've got 1 machine gun, shoots with the power of 15 men. They're not reservists. So pretty decent squad there, so we're going to be bringing that, and it comes in a Euro truck, which we've seen before. Commodiatura in the UAZ Commodiatura. So, yeah, that's a really good unit because of the reservists, the military police vehicle. I mean, we've seen them everywhere before. This is Zargo Tryhards. They renamed it. Fun Police came in. Can't have funny named units. You got to have units you can't pronounce instead. So gone are the Zargo Tryhards, replaced with Commendable Usulanias. So, yeah, I mean, it's very sad. It is just the same unit like you get in KDA, but they've changed the name, and they've changed it in KDA as well. So, Fun Police coming in there. No, I mean, it's a good squad, but it's got no military police vehicle, which is sort of what I want here. Between these two, this thing is 45 points. You might as well just get the car for 20. So we'll get those guys. Then we've got Reservist Pulmachiki. So 8 men for 30 points with 3 machine guns. So a machine gun's like 2 rifles. So this is like 6 rifles. 6 plus 5 is 11. Quick maths. So they fight with the strength of 11 men, which isn't actually that great. So because like they're 8 strength anyway, so it's not really that much more. So yeah, 30 points. Reservist BTR vehicle, which I mean, yeah. They're cheap, but 9 availability, 6 at 1 vet. It's pretty rough. Reservist Commander. So this is 50 points for 3 men, 8 strength. Reservist though, but really not a bad squad. And you can get it in the reservist transport, which is cheaper than the truck, and it's wheeled. So I got an MMG, but it's faster than the truck. Not faster off-road, but faster on-road, and it's armoured. So those are 3 availability. Your only other choice in the infantry tab is Motor Strokey Commanders, who are 4 strength with smoke for 40 points. So they're cheaper, but there's only 2 of them. The fact of the matter is, in this inf tab, you need lots of inf. So we'll see if we can get away with just not bringing a CV. But I would go for this one if I had the choice. If I had to choose. Then we've got Reservisti. So 30 points for 8 men. And an RPG. So they've got less combat power than the Reservist Pulmachiki, but you can upvet them and get way more of them. So you basically have to compare the 1 vet one to the no vet Pulmachiki, at which point the Reservisti are better. Then you've got Prizivniki. Those Russian lessons coming in handy. I wonder how many of you will remember that. Oh, that was a while back. The Learn Russian meta, where I was just playing YouTube video Learn Russian tutorials while I was playing. The game was so bad in those days. Man, how far we've come. So Prizivniki. Prizivniki. There we go. They've got a worse RPG, but they've got a DMR. They've got the Mosin DMR. So they've got a World War II Mosin. The DPM is just an RPK. There's two more of them. The RPG is worse, but for 5 more points, you know, they're vet locked at vet 0, which is pretty rough. But, you know, we're going to be bringing the Commoditura with them, and we're definitely going to be microing that properly. So this is your swarm unit, I guess. Sadly, it doesn't come in the cool car. So between them, I actually prefer this squad, but they serve different functions, I suppose. I mean, this is more about just meat for the machine. The fact of the matter is, a DMR and a machine gun is like 3 machine guns, which is like 6 rifles. So these men fight with the strength of 14 men, whereas these men fight with the strength of 9 men. And so it's 5 points more for just way more stuff. Obviously, the anti-armor capability is much reduced, but basically you just deal 316 suppression to them, and then you run off. So get these. Let's try for a card of each, but we'll see if we can hold it. Then you've got this. So this is a recoilless rifle. 15 pen. I mean, it's 35 points for 9, so it's not bad actually. Or you can upvet it, but I don't see why I'd upvet something like this anyway. I guess for the extra accuracy, but yeah, I mean, so we're going to get rid of the PKMs, and we're going to pay the same price for something which is better because it's got more range. It'll deal less DPS, but it's got anti-vehicle capability. Only 15 pen's a bit rough. You need 16 to one-shot 2 armor vehicle. It's probably going to do a lot of missing, but it'll still deal suppress on the miss. So I think it's better than the PKM team. So we'll see. Then we've got an ATGM team, an unnameable ATGM team, which we will actually need because I've been through this div, and we will probably need this. So we'll get that. Reservist sappers, so 35 points for shock and satchels, or reservist sappers with flamethrowers for 40 points for flamethrower, and 2 SMGs. So basically, flamethrowers in this game got triple nerfed ages ago. They used to shoot 500 meters. They used to have more accuracy. They used to aim faster, and they used to reload faster. So the flamethrowers are basically useless. So don't bring those. You also get fewer of them. So if you want some sappers, I'd bring this. Then, or just overwhelm your enemy with hordes of just nonsense. Then we've got a regular motor strelky with 18 pen. So there you go, there's your AT, and it comes in a BMP-1. So it's like the Polish one in that it's got no smoke, but it only costs 25 points. So we'll be bringing that at 1 vet. And then regular motor strelky with 20 pen on the launcher. 8 strength, and they come in a BTR 60 PB. So that's your AT. So you don't need to be stacking AT. But yeah, we'll see if we need these slots here. But generally, I'd be bringing sappers and these guys for the town fighting, I guess, because I'm gonna need a lot of military police here to supply my morons. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you can obviously just go full horde and just bring 10 trillion of these, but I want to at least try and win. So that's that. And yeah, just sorting this out. These should go here. So yeah, we'll go for some Uselanias because they're going to be pretty good to help make our reservists actually useful. And they'll help fight in the town and stuff. They can go in the sappers with the sappers. So, yeah, I might as well keep the military police together. And in the RT tab, so this is where the magic happens. We've got some 82mm mortars that go further than 120mm mortars. They are reservists, but that's pretty cool, right? They go further, so there's really no reason to bring the 120. Although, I suppose the transport's better on the 120. You get more of these, so we'll go for that for our smoke. Then you've got 152mm howitzer reservist thing. Then you've got 122mm more howitzer. Then you've got a 100mm howitzer with tank gun capability, also reservist. Then you've got these absolute beasts from Steel Division 2 and also the Battle of Berlin, colorized. They're very cool. They are reservist, so they shoot slower and they have worse stats than it would imply. But they've also got this funny direct fire capability. So we're going to be bringing both of these, and that'll be our howitzer component. Because like this is just that, but better. So we'll buy these first, and then we'll buy these. And we'll try and get some direct fire off on these, but I mean, I don't want to sacrifice my 40 point combination, right? It includes transport. Then you've got the Bereg, which does not shoot at aircraft, unfortunately. It's not broken arrow. It's got very nice range and very fast fire rate, but its caliber's quite low, and we've already got 4 siege engines. But this is a 1-point slot, so maybe we'll need it. Maybe we'll want it, and then you've got this thing. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously, if you start vetting this, because like it's difficult to buy all this stuff, but like this would be my actual howitzers, and this would be my try and get a direct fire shot off and lose it thing. Although, I mean, still plenty of howitzers to go around here, so it's kind of redundant. There's too much arty, really. Tank tab. So you get the IS-2 from the Battle of Berlin, colorized. And it's got pretty decent anti-infantry capability here. Its fire rate is very low. Its armor is nice. Its speed is very low. It's just not very good, to tell you the truth. And you only get 10 of them instead of 12 or something. So I don't really think this is very good. But yeah, I mean, it's just going to miss. And then the rate of fire is 5. The pen's 15, and it's heat, so it doesn't get better as it gets closer. So this is just not very good. It's more of a LARP thing. Then you've got the Malyutka P, and you see that you've only got 1. So you don't get any Conkers or anything. So this is why I ended up bringing this. Because even though it's not great, we're going to... And this for anti-vehicle as well. We're going to end up needing it. Because we don't have that many ATGMs. 100mm anti-tank gun with no anti-air capability, sadly, despite it. I'm pretty sure this is an anti-air gun as well, but whatever. Yeah, it's slow, it's got good stealth. There's not really space for it in this div. Then we've got the Reservist T-55AK, which has, yeah. And yeah, and then we've got the Reservist T-54B, which is it's got a heat gun on it. This is like the KDA one. It's like the KDA one. So what is this called? 157Y. What is it called? Reservist T-54B. T-54. So you've got the AM and you've got the B. And the B is reservist instead of resolute, and they're both terrible. They're both terrible. The T-54 AM is not worth 65 points. I think, wasn't it 70 last patch? I can't remember if I saved Warno in that way. It all blurs into one after a while. Then you've got the Reservist T-55A, which is like this, but with 2 more pen on the gun for 15 points. And it's kinetic instead of the other one. Then you've got the Reservist T-55A OBR-81, which is like the T-55A, but for 15 more points, you get more range, more accuracy. The pen is the same, because at the same range it will have, you know, it gains 1 pen at every 175 meters, basically. So it is better, and it's got smoke, and it can survive a Milan 2 hit, which is useful. Then you've got the TO-55, which had its availability go up, and this is not reservist, and you know, it's not reservist. It's very important, but it's not got smoke, right? And yeah, its availability went up to match regular T55s now. It used to be that this was like 6-4 or something, which was just dumb because it's not that great anyway. So a nice buff for 119Y. So I'm sure Skate will be happy. The only 119Y player. He's called Skate. He's rank 3 though, so I think he's I think he's proven the divs, you know, it's workable. But it really is an uphill slog playing that div. He's just winning because he's outplaying everybody basically. So a nice 119Y buff there. Then you get the T55 AM1 and the T50. So this is the good part, right? It's a T55 with a Bastion, so really good ATGMs, and so we want it for the ATGM, and so we're going to be bringing it at no vet because we don't really want it in combat. And it's got lots of armor. It's very good. It's a very good tank. But yeah, you get it for the ATGM. So we've got 12 of those, and that's our ATGMs, I guess. And then, you know, then we trash spam. We trash spam. So between our trash spammable units, I mean, they're all pretty trash, and they're not that spammable. I'm not particularly thrilled with this. I mean, they're all reservists as well, which doesn't help. But hey, we've got the Commoditura vehicles, which we can stack on alongside them. So, I mean, it's just like this is 30 more points than that, and it is better, but it's not that much better. And like, so this is mainly anti-infantry, really, and like then this is also anti-infantry. I suppose I have to bring it for the LARP, but they're not very good. This being 60 is probably the best of the bunch, to tell you the truth. I mean, you're paying 30 points to get one more pip of range and a smoke launcher. It's like, when you compare these two, it kind of makes sense. But when you compare these two... oh, okay, the pen is 2 more, actually, on the one on the right. But the point is that you're not going to really be killing tanks anyway, so... Although you only get 1 card of this. I don't know. So we'll bring the IS-2s, I guess. I don't know. Like, what do you do if an enemy tank comes along? Use these, I guess, and just try and pepper him to death with the bastions. But basically, we're going to be buying 12 of these, and then when we want to fight infantry, we'll bring out the this, and these are all 3-point slots now. And then like this is, you know, it's an anti-infantry platform, right? These do have smoke, which is useful, but the reservist trait does sort of kill them. We'll try it. We'll try it. I mean, it's getting expensive though. Recon tab. So this is a Alouette, and apparently the Indians license produced the Alouette from the French and then sold it to the Soviet Union. So much for technology and so on, but whatever. And then you've got Resvedka, and they can come in the BTR-40. You don't have any airborne forward deployed on this div. So that's an okay squad. Then you get the BTR-40A, which has integrated anti-air capability. It's not great, but it's only 40 points, and it's a recon vig. It's got good stealth and stuff. It's recon forward deployed, so that's very useful. Then you've got Reservist Resvedka, who are like the regular Resvedka, but for 5 points more, there's twice as many of them, but they are reservist, but we're going to be going for those. And we should probably get this for our tanks, so that our tanks can actually see something. But look how expensive it's all getting. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe we should get rid of this. We'll see after we check the AA tab, but this is the one I'd get rid of. And then I'll probably end up down-vetting this or something, so I've actually got some infantry recon. But Reservist 0 vet is awful. They will rout, and you will never see them again. So we should probably get rid of this, to tell you the truth, because these slots are so expensive. Then we've got the Reservist Strela 3. Then we've got the ZU-23-2 for AA gun spam, which is great news. Then the S-60s had their aim time go down to 2 seconds, so don't say I don't do anything for you, because they were 2.5 before, as did this, which used to have 2.5 aim time on the gun as well, for no particular reason. So that's interesting. And then you get this from 56Y for your mobile AA, I guess, to bring with you, because it's actually cheaper than this, although it is worse. And this can come with your tanks, I guess, to protect your tanks. and then you get the Krugs. So this is basically designed to be like a 10v10 division. So you just do your thing with your spam in the town in the 10v10 while you've got 3 Krugs up. And so you help your team with the 3 Krugs. And then you do your funny LARP thing where you just lose your zone. But at least your Krugs are shooting something down. So you're doing something useful for society, I suppose. And yeah, I mean, like, it's rough, dude, because like this is your only mobile AA. So what are you supposed to do when the helicopter comes? Well, you'll see. So Helo tab, so you get this with phalangers, which you're going to need, really, or this with rockets, and I think you're going to need 4 of these so that you can shoot enemy tanks and stuff. And it's got loads of rocket pods anyway. And then here's the air tab, so you get the TikTok fighter, which is completely busted for 260 points. If you thought the Su-27S was busted, this thing's completely busted. So it's got 3 separate racks of missiles, which all shoot at once. This one is the one off 79Y's MiG-29, you know, the really overpowered one. So this missile alone will get 2 shots off before the merge, unlike every other missile in the game. And then you've got this missile, which has the most range in the game, apart from the MiG-31 missiles. It just outclasses the Sparrow in every way. And then you've got this missile, which outclasses the AIM-9s, the Sidewinders, in every way. And it shoots all of them at once, and it's 10 points more than the regular Su-25, so it's completely broken. So we'll be bringing that. Sadly, only 1 card. Then you've got this for chasing helos. And then you've got this, which also has 3 racks of missiles, and this is for chasing planes. Then you've got this, which only has 2 racks of missiles, and this is like a mix between trying to... I think this is mainly for chasing helos, because even though this can only shoot planes, you know, it's super duper duper quick. And it's got 2 of these guns on it, because they're gun pods down here. And that will probably be very effective against helicopters, so we'll bring that for the helicopters. Sadly, this one is the one with only 2 availability, but it's got 3 sets of rockets on it, and then AT for shooting the baddies, and like, frankly, we need fighter supremacy as this div, because how else am I like, if enemy helicopters come, I'm doomed. So we'll use this for planes. This sort of for planes as well, but for helicopters, and then this for also planes and helicopters. So let's get all of those, and then we've got 4 points left. Okay, so we can... So I might go easy on this, and then what else can we get? So we can get 2 AA pieces, or we can get a recon and an AA piece, or we can get a tank and an AA piece. We don't really need the artillery, because we've got too much artillery already. Like, you don't need more than 4 howitzers, even if this is a cool new unit, etc, etc. Its caliber's not great, so it's probably just going to do a lot of missing. It is quite cheap, though. It's probably really good if you upvet it, just buy 1, and drive it really close so that its dispersion is literal sniper rifle tier. It's probably quite good, but 6 south of the length's sort of a pain in the neck, actually. So with 4 AP, we've only got 6 CVs, but I think it's staying that way. And we'll get an AAP. I mean, we need something, so we'll get the towed guns. And if a helicopter comes, woe betide us. Like, this has the healer range, but I mean, it's got good stealth actually, so it's not bad against enemy infantry, although it can't shoot vehicles apparently because it's only HE. And then we can get this, or we can get this, or we can get this and that. It's probably worth getting the rocket plane, just in case we need it. Although I would like a tank, because we don't really have a lot of anti-infantry fire support. It's supposed to be like a tanky spam thing, so we'll get a CV tank. We'll get the good one. Although, good is subjective. And I'll see you in game.